cat.
We're live.
You're gonna get a paw job. Oh, f***'s sake. THC. Can we get this cat a microphone or something?
Seriously, we haven't even started the podcast yet and you're just here.
Oz and Rorkus, aren't you?
Welcome to episode 13.
Oh.
Is it? It's not 13. No, it's not.
10?
It is 13.
It's 13, yeah.
Welcome to episode 13.
No, how much were we on before we finished? Before we started? Was it 10?
It was the 10th was the first, then we had the 11th, and the 12th was the M Night Shyamalan. So this is 13. Welcome to the 13th episode of the post-production podcast. On my left we have THC.
If a cat's arse in the frame.
Need to. You have to say hi to the camera. THC, top house cat, everyone. And on my right we have
Director of Instinctive, that's all I have to my name, Michael Kelly.
We need to come up with a different slogan for you.
Oh yeah.
You've rehearsed that too much.
Michael Kelly, the snail man.
Right.
Right, so it's like, so we're not beating around the bush. The wheel went out of cinemas before I could see it.
We didn't get a chance. I wanted to see
Shite.
Brandon. And we didn't get a chance.
I know you put a picture into the group chat today of, I don't know if it's photoshopped or not, but his calves, it was like a full body one of him as the whale, and his calves were like this size.
I was
like,
just
no
highlighting-
way.
Do that again for the close.
This size, mate. His calves were this size.
I was just, just highlighting what we've missed out on.
I've seen him like up from here at his waist, but I've never seen the legs before until you put the
Like, you've
full
seen
body
that
picture.
walking away sometimes before, dude, let's be real.
Yeah, like tree trunks down there, like he doesn't skip leg there.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's worthwhile.
You can
Watching it.
yes, the BC's on their eyes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
After last week's Knock at the Cabin special, we said we'd watch The Whale. We talked about that this week. We weren't able to watch The Whale. We did see Knock at the Cabin a second time,
Yeah.
but no Whale.
No DOS, mate. Seen it twice.
And we were going to see Cocaine Bear instead.
Oh.
We are going to see Cocaine Bear for
We are.
this week and talk about it next week. It was due to complications that happened. And also
How are we supposed to do that? Like, we have a Knock at the Cabin special. It's an event. We're talking about a new M Night Shyamalan film, and we follow up with a special event, Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
No. You're not telling me that Cocaine Bear is not like the film that like.
Mate.
everyone
Film of
wants
the
to see.
decade.
That's what I'm saying. It's like right. You take a general audience film, right, and you put a title like Cocaine Bear.
Yes, please.
Michael loves it.
Love cocaine, meth, Vicodin, Benadryl, benzodiazepine, paracetamol.
Calpol.
Calpol bar.
Calpol Bear.
So instead of doing that this week, we have a different topic.
We do. You might have remembered in the early days of the post-production podcast, we had an episode where each of us talked about our favourite films. Or we picked one film and went with it.
Instinctive.
And I think one of us said in that episode that we should... What?
Kind of promos and following you.
Who said that?
I keep hearing the voices saying instinctive.
Instinctive. Who said that?
I think we said in that episode that we'll do the same thing again one day with the worst films, or what we think are the worst films. Instinctive.
Instinctive, yeah.
So that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about our worst films ever.
What rhymes with instinctive?
And now, as you can tell, Michael's not come up with anything for his list yet.
Well, what I'm actually thinking
I've
is...
seen some horror movies.
Oh, horror movies.
No. I mean, shockingly bad movies.
But every horror movie's good.
You don't get my point.
Oh, you mean that you're terrified of how bad
I mean,
they are?
Yeah.
instinctive is
Oh,
really bad.
well, just come out and say instinctive.
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, it's a hard movie to say. I don't even know what genre it is, so I suppose it's a horror.
Sci-fi thriller horror.
I haven't watched it. I just cover my eyes like, what the hell?
Commentary.
Yeah.
I'm thinking rom-com.
Rom-com. Picturing the...
Like a lot of political commentary, so you want to make a movie about it, so they instinctive to pull views into it.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you watch
put like
it-
Joe
yeah,
Biden's
and if you watch
laptop.
it, it's exactly what the director thinks about society.
Yeah.
So that's what put out there for everyone to kind of think about.
Wait, right, least favourite film for me is Cheaper by the Dozen 3. Okay? Like, family films. Oh,
Where
God.
did you pull that from?
I was thinking about that on the way up. I was like, you know what? The third one's not my favourite. Not my favourite.
Cheaper by... Oh no, I remember that. It's got you guys.
You got the guy with the big fat eyebrows on it. You know? And he's got the rich family and they're having a boat race on a lake.
So that was in the third one, aren't
I think that was the
I
first one.
actually want to see this as an actual movie.
No, well, actually, I don't know if the third. I've never seen the third one, but Cheaper by the Dozen is the kind of.
It might have been a nightmare. I don't know if it exists. But,
You've seen the first two and you're like, no.
I'm like, please make 3.
There's a Cheaper by the Dozen 2022, which I assume is.
Shiza.
But there's not a third one. So it must have been a reboot that Michael's released.
Oh.
2022.
It's the future Michael talking. 10 years time.
Well,
Nah, I don't know about this
you
film.
see it family films and.
Any family film. You see why they don't make family films anymore, because, you know, families don't really make it that far anymore. It's like divorce, isn't it?
Do you remember
Divorce.
political commentary?
Only the director of Instinctive could say something this bold.
I know, like, oh,
Old guy.
yeah. Putting a bold guy video right here. 10 minutes.
Just put it right in between here, around.
Can't do that, you'll sue us.
No, everyone's it's advertising.
Yeah, we need to feature the cocaine baron in an episode. Have him sitting right here.
That's what we're doing next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him
I'm
on.
like, so have you got over your cocaine addiction yet?
Fight you.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Or is it Cheaper by the Dozen Free?
Cheaper by the Dozen 3 is my top choice for worst film of the universe.
You know, I can actually think of like 3 or 4 different movies that would go in this category for like different like subgenres.
Different reasons, yeah. Should we have a different film for different like
We
categories?
can go through some.
Yeah.
Or we can just go through some and say. Well, while you come up with something other than.
I've got one. Titanic for the biggest waste of time. And the biggest waste of money.
I think Titanic's still like
I know, you
Actually,
like...
one of the highest
I wa-
grossing movies of all time.
I think it's like I think it's like one of those two.
No, the guy can't even paint her
It's
right.
like people only watch it to watch him like paint her naked and then like they all kind of like switch you off and then it's like
And then the movie goes off after that.
Wherever you are.
And he's like, they're both flying for the wind.
They're kind of
Is that the right movie?
Exactly, Michael gets it.
Seagull mode.
And then like there's not really that big if you think about it, it's like Jack's not really an important character. He's kinda useless.
Yeah.
He's
Guys.
just this poor guy that drowns.
He just took a lot of acid and everything.
If you think about it, like if that happened today, he wouldn't even appear on the news.
I know, like, you can't get away with shit like that, sinking a boat full of people, like, you know. It's an inside job.
That's my obvious conspiracy.
He's like, I shouldn't have brought thermite on the boat.
How do you think the Titanic sank, Michael?
Some sort of thing called an iceberg lattice, obviously.
I think it's an iceberg, but I think it's actually bigger than that. I think the iceberg is it's originally an iceberg, but beneath it,
Yeah.
there's so many more layers as to why.
It's than 2.0. It's underwater, no one can find it. You know.
It's like a.
And no one's like concerned about the iceberg. Did the iceberg get damaged? You know,
Yeah,
is that even insured?
He took a massive hit from that. I hope he called his
He was like, the iceberg's like, my back. You know.
So, Cheaper by the Dozen 3, which
Yep.
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist, but it's the worst
I'm
movie.
going to say it was Cheaper by the Dozen 2022 that he has seen because Michael's got
Sorry,
recency
2000.
bias. Like, Michael's brain is like in the recency bias.
And
Yeah.
Titanic, so that's Michael's picks for the worst films ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael is really involved in this week's podcast and feels like he really brought good ideas to the table.
Mm.
Are you feeling okay, Michael?
No.
Yeah, Smash.
Wait, while you're saying yours, I'll think of a real one.
Yeah, Smash will like the whole Michael.
No, Titanic. Yeah, you got it.
Actually, Titanic's my favourite film ever. And Cheaper by Dozen 3 is my favourite film ever.
Right.
So what's your worst films then?
Do we just list them, or do we have one for like different categories, like you said earlier?
I'll have a debate about different categories because I think that'll be a good idea to actually pitch forward why your film's the worst, or why you think your
You
film's
go
the
first
worst.
then, because I don't know.
Start for romance movie.
So I'm gonna
The
go,
categories of this are. I don't know.
so I'm gonna go horror movies first, right?
Oh.
And it's so bad because there are so many bad ones. I think the newest Scream movie is up there.
You seen it?
Not the newest one, but the one before the newest one before it comes out. That's also a film we'll probably review.
I
But
don't know if I would agree with that, but I think this one that's coming is going to be dreadful.
I think you can name the newest Halloween film, the newest Nightmare on Elm Street film, and the newest Friday the 13th film, and the newest Scream film each time, and the newest progressives get.
So all the biggest like horror titles.
When was the last time they made a Friday the 13th movie?
Remember the one that was like 2009, I think. It was like the one we watched. It was alright. It wasn't the best one, but it wasn't really like. It wasn't good. Like you would describe it as like, oh, it's a good movie, good like a slasher film.
It's at least they were left back in like 2009 and 10, because there was the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the last one. It was
There was another one made Friday.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then right, but then you had those two series are left back there, but not the rest of them though, because we had the new Halloween, we had the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Haven't seen that. I like the Halloween one though.
You have watched it.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It's
The
one
new
where
one?
The guy comes in the bus. He's like, "Try anything, you're cancelled, bro."
Yeah, for real.
I have no idea.
Like we use clips like for
I don't even know.
clips.
I wish we could. I don't know how well, we probably could.
But, yeah, but you probably know the scene if you've seen the movie.
It's the one where
Remake
it's like that's why it would be good to invest in like a laptop or something that we could like
Yeah.
set up. But it's the one where like it's like they move into this abandoned town and he's in like the flower field or like the cornfield.
it's like weird like influence for society. People, and there's, like,
I watched it.
and like
with
he
you,
like goes into like they go into like there's only one person. It's this mum. It's when for like somebody's like clearly disabled or something's wrong with them, and then like basically they take the mum out and basically evict her to get the house. He's not pleased with that, so he basically, I don't know if he runs off and then starts killing. I have to figure out how the continuity goes, but there's one scene in particular which Alan already mentioned where he walks onto a blue lit bus and goes, and the guys, they all start filming him and go, try and be a cancelled bird.
Oh man.
And he just chainsaws through all them. That's a really good scene in the film.
It's a good response.
Yeah.
Another one, then the end credits scene, which you might remember. So remember when they're driving away at the end. They think they're beating Bubba. Bubba comes over, grabs one of them out of the car, and then just chainsaws her head off, and you see it through the rear view mirror.
Oh god, she's never gonna
just
recover.
driving away like.
She's still driving.
But yeah, it was bad.
It was-
Then 2019, the reboot of Chucky, Child's Play, with Mark Hamill voice, and it was
See,
bad.
the monsters, like, they never die in the big films. They always come back for like the reboots.
Because they want to make some more money.
Yeah, literally.
Scream's so annoying. Like, I actually think like a couple of the Scream movies are good, like the first couple. Like maybe you could say they're good.
I don't know if I've watched past the fourth one, or no, past the third one.
But like the newest one is like the whole idea is like the Scream is just like anyone who wears the mask.
Yeah.
And it takes the whole idea of like the actual, what's the word? It's like
It's not exclusive. Anyone can be included.
Predictable makes the movies predictable.
Yeah.
It's like their whole thing was like, oh, there's multiple ghost faces in this one.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then the next film, how many is there going to be?
She wakes up everyone in the world's good.
Yeah. It doesn't make it like special. It just means like a serial killer
stuff.
can wear this as a disguise.
Yeah.
And it's like it doesn't make a one ghost face a unique character. It makes
Yeah.
like
It makes it because like I remember, was it Matthew Lillard who played him first?
Or, well, him and another guy, because there was
Another
two
guy.
of them.
And that was fun. That was like the first like those were good movies. Then it went to like this new one where there's a guy, I forget his name, but he played a character in The Boys, which I really like. The Boys.
Yeah.
I really like him in it. But it's like it's him and this girl here in it. The entire time you can sort of tell what the plot twist is going to be.
Wait, is the first Scream, is it?
This is the fifth one.
The fifth one.
Yeah, and then they're releasing a sixth one, which involves the same characters from the sixth one. Ghostface still coming to kill the same characters from the sixth one.
Oh,
and
man.
they're bringing back, what's her name?
Sid.
Oh, wait, the trailer, yeah, it's the girl from Friends, like, the
Courtney
girl with the
Cox,
black hair. I'm not sure
Courtney
what it is, but...
I have no idea who these people are.
It's adult black hair, Friends.
Yeah.
People know her.
Nigella.
But they're bringing her back again for another movie, and she gets attacked again in another movie. It's kind of
She's invincible.
Halloween somewhat. It's just Laurie Strode gets attacked again and again and again. I was like, can you just end this?
Just kill her already.
Wait, so you have watched all the Screams? Because I've watched the first
I've
one.
watched all of them. But also, I mean, it was like, whenever you get to the fifth one, you're watching, like, bro, I haven't even watched the fourth or third.
I think
this is rough.
I think I've seen the
But
first
yeah, it's like a
two.
replay in a way.
I've seen the first two, I think, and then the fifth one. Was it you said is the fifth one was the one that came out in cinema last year?
Yes.
We seen it. I think
Yes.
that's the only ones I've seen.
So by the way,
Yeah.
also you talk about quick turnaround for films. The last one was released on the 3rd of January last year. This new one is released March this year.
It's just over
Dear
a
Lord.
year and 2 months in between them. Like
It's like David Cameron making films. No, I'm joking. James Cameron. I've learned my lesson. Just like making 8 avatars in advance. You love that.
just wasn't expecting you.
The whole week I got David Cameron in my ear.
One thing I want to bring up, a man I just want to bring up for worst films is this is so. Well, you know, I haven't actually read through the horror genre because I even know what my worst horror film would be. I'm actually trying to think what it would be.
I've got one, but you can go first.
I don't know.
You want to bring up a specific man?
I was gonna bring up a specific man for the action category for worst films.
Like a character.
He's a character.
Oh, he's a
I'm
boy.
not gonna go to it.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna go to him yet because
We'll stay in horror for a wee bit.
yeah.
So that's how we'll do it. Then we'll go from each genre. We'll pick
Yeah.
our
Yeah. For horror, I have it's this really bad one. I remember I watched it with Tyrone on Netflix. It's called #horror.
I was about this.
You
Oh
were gonna say-
no way!
Oh,
No way!
It's like the cast is just all these like little girls
And the
it's,
big
like,
house.
so bad, and they're all bullying each other, and there's like you can't even like pay attention to the narrative. It's just all over the place. You know,
Oh my god, I hate that movie so much.
I haven't actually seen it.
Just imagine like, how would you even? Yes, it's a big house. It's all the like the.
It's
wee
like they
girls.
made it up as they went along.
Is
They
it
didn't
a
like plan the
house?
film.
It's kind of like a clout house
Yeah.
for 12-year-olds. Like
Yeah.
they're all they're having this big sleepover, and they've got like they're always on their phones. That's why it's called #horror, and it's just
They're all like rich kids. All the mums
Oh,
leave them
yeah,
off in the
yeah.
Range Rovers, and they're like, "Yeah, see ya."
We have
I've
to
got-
watch it.
I've got-
We have to.
I've got mine then. Right.
Oh.
Unfriended. Have you ever seen that movie?
What's Unfriended again? That's the one where we're all on the webcams.
No, that's.
What's the difference between that and friend request?
Oh no, it might be friend request. It's friend request I'm talking about. It's not unfriended. Unfriended is like kind of scary. Because like, especially if you're actually using, if you use Skype and stuff like that, and use webcams, it can seem a bit
yeah,
creepy.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
request is the one where it's like, girl gets a friend request, girl seems a bit like nice at first, like she tries to, then she gets creepy, then the girl kills herself, and then she starts like hunting her, and it's like, it's just really bad. I mean, it's just really bad. But the end is
sounds
awful
epic.
as well, because it's like basically the girl goes into a corner and turns around like every horror film. Have you ever watched like
They turn a corner and no one's there, and the music cuts off. Right?
yeah, so they go to
Then behind them,
it's
It's always that.
Then she turns into the girl
yeah.
who's like possessed. So it basically repeats the cycle. It's such a ending. It's
Man,
such a movie. It's so bad.
I'm trying to
sounds
think.
good.
So you went
So you're watching
horror.
bad horror movies, so you can probably #horror. Scream 5 in my opinion still has to be there. Friend request. I was gonna say but Ma's a good movie.
Yeah, that's kind of like a
That's a classic.
inside classic of ours. Yeah.
But I don't think it's actually terrible.
It's a good movie.
It's not. It's alright.
I think it's like
It's
enjoyable.
It's enjoyable, but it's not like great. But if we're talking about shit movie,
If a movie's
one-
enjoyable, at least sometimes it kind of makes it.
there was one I can't remember the name of it. I remember me and Alex watched it, and it sent my head away because I was like, "What the f is going on?" It was made like in 2020, and it was kind of like Unfriended, but like set in the time of like.
Yeah.
And it was about all these adult friends like talking to each other, and one of them was like a couple that were getting married, but they have like an argument, and the wife trips and like falls and like bashes her head against the wall and dies, and like the husband's like freaking out like, oh, what am I gonna do? And then he goes outside, and like the police are coming after him because like in this movie's universe like really bad, so they're coming to get him, and like I was like, where's this movie going? And then he goes on like this massive like. I don't even know what's happening. It's like he's away to, he's like he goes to like his friend's house and they don't let him in, and he's like in this massive like, highway chase and he just gets shot in the road. And I remember watching it, and like, I don't what's its name, because I was sitting thinking about it like
The movie.
that's you might
It's
actually
like propaganda.
you might actually not be far off. It had a really stupid name like that, but it was like
So it's fictional.
it
not
was
real.
kind of like Unfriended. It was like a
Or
found footage style horror movie, but it's like
It's like every like low budget horror.
every
movie.
movie, yeah, it's like
It's just
every
found footage.
But if I had
Oh, you call it that?
It's like Knock at the Cabin, like you know, the fan footage and when the spoilers when the tsunami comes. She's like, quickly stand, fan footage.
Oh, me and Michael kept joking with that last
Oh,
time. We
man.
seen it again, we were just sitting and watching it. Being like, Michael's like, how did they get like the footage to like the TV channel? Tidal waves coming. Send.
She's recording the tsunami coming and she sends it to the news channel in the last second. Like, how did they get the footage? She's obviously sent it the last second before the tsunami hit her. She's like, send.
I'm gonna be famous.
No way.
Actually, it's kind of tricky. Have you seen like a natural disaster coming towards you?
Yeah.
Would you fell over the shit? What's going on?
She was like, I'm about to go down.
Thank God my phone's waterproof.
The tsunami just stops, like.
Just goes right past them. It's done.
So, whoa!
It's like a hologram or something.
It just like goes past her shoulder.
What do I think? Terrible horror movies that I've seen.
The Boy.
No. The Boy. Oh no, that's.
Jason versus Freddy.
We never watched The Boy. Did I even show you The Boy?
You showed me the first one.
Oh no, I'm not thinking of the same movie. I'm not thinking of The Boy. I'm thinking of Robert the Doll. That was it. That's the one.
I don't think I've seen that.
Robert the Doll.
Is Robert McDonald set in the UK?
Yeah.
That's good. I enjoyed it.
The first
Bloody
one
doll's
wasn't-
alive.
Yeah, but the first one wasn't too bad. But the second.
Oh no. That's
And
a
the
different
third.
movie that we're talking. I'm thinking of a different movie. Robert does the one with like Nazi scientists.
Eventually, it becomes Nazi scientist.
Yeah.
But it
Oh,
starts
good.
out as like, first one's like set in a house and like there's like a doll and like the doll like kills everyone. Then like the second one is about the dolls get put in a museum and the budget was cut in half. They're both set in the UK.
It was cut in half during the production.
I'm assuming because like it's bad. And then the third one is the one where it's set in World War II and has like Nazi scientists. Like, apparently
It's natural progression.
that's like where apparently you have a couple ones set around. That was it's literally like we made two movies around like 2010 sort of time. Oh, where did the doll come from? Let's make a movie in 1940s Germany.
It's like people want to ask the question if we just gonna make a completely different film. You know?
I'm going with Robert the Doll. Specifically, the Toy Maker. I think that's the name of the third one. I'm going with that.
And that's someone's favourite film and they're just screaming.
Just like grabbing it from
You know, I'll be honestly like wrote on that because I knew how bad the second one is. Where man through.
I want to watch it now.
I need to watch all of
A
them.
notepad. I'm like, oh, good. Nothing bad to say about that film.
Oh my god.
And then so I'm going into action now.
Oh,
So
okay.
first I'm going to do a little break, reset the cameras and that, and then good to go into the second part. Let's go boys.
Come in. but he didn't tell you what the poem was about, and he's not going to because it's not going on YouTube. But let's get on to the meat potato.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
It is. I can see the PSNI thing on it.
Here, roll the window down.
Yeah. Oh, he's going somewhere else.
yours. Got him.
Alright.
If it comes to that, I'm probably going to kill myself.
That was dreadful.
People have been calling it the Beast of Ballyboogie. You come around that and you're like, guys, you're like civilization.
Yeah?
And we're like, wait.
Now he finds it.
And we're back after a quick ad break.
Yeah.
So, really going into the action movies now. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here. Any Steven Seagal movie.
Oh,
He's my idol, my hero. And specifically, I want to talk about American Sniper.
Yeah. Was that one of his movies?
No.
I thought that was
No, let me actually look up the titles. I was giving him too much credit. I'm pretty sure it's like Sniper Special Ops or something.
every epic name.
So the camera's just got to set on Michael for a second while I actually look this up.
Oh.
But,
Sorry, what's this? I'm trying to think. Just go with Die Hard, haven't
Seagal. Wait, 1 second, I will let it get something now.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, Steven Seagal Sniper Special Ops.
Sniper Special.
I hope we can throw up an image of it right now, the front of the like poster for it, because that's comedy as well. It's him standing there trying to tuck in his fat as he's
You can't do that when you're sitting down the whole film. Just picture it.
He literally doesn't move in the movie. So he at the start I wish we could put clips up, but he holds his guns the wrong way constantly.
He's like hip fire.
So like if you could try to picture this, so he holds his gun like that. No, put it close to your shoulder, but like bring your your left arm forward, closer to yourself, But like yes, he holds the gun like that the entire time, and it's so bizarre to watch. He is called the sniper, but he uses an assault rifle to snipe people. For most of the movie, even though he has a sniper, and he only has one sniping scene in the entire movie, and the movie's called Sniper Special Ops. He sits in a chair for most of it.
I think that title sounds like, you know, like a Call of Duty rip-off that appeared on like the.
Remember Sniper Ghost Warrior the game? That's what it reminded me of. It was a really bad game. He's got that one. He's got that one. There's one. A Good Man.
A Good Man.
Good. Is that the romance one?
It's romance, but it's probably some stripper. Because all his movies, he has a stripper.
It's like of him and the girl in the bed, and she's just lying on his back, just rubbing her back.
Yes, that is a Good Man.
So bad.
And then there's what's the other one? Oh, what's it called? Something Commander.
Full Commander.
I'm
gonna list all these movies because they are all my like top
I'm
worst.
going to go with the Steven Seagal one as well. I feel bad.
He has it's a General Commander.
General Commander.
Sniper Special Ops, General Commander. Like we can always give ourselves nicknames where it's like a Good Man is Michael, Adam is Sniper Special Ops, and I'm General Commander.
General Commander, yeah.
Like,
I bet you all the movie posters has him with a gun sitting down.
or him one. Have you ever watched the move as well? The movie he wobbles.
Oh.
He wobbles in the scenes, and then
little tiny one.
and then they have body doubles for him in every scene. And then they also, if you watch Steven Seagal movie, this is how much Seagal I've watched. You will notice when there's certain scenes they will use black lighting to make him look slimmer, and use black clothes at all times to make him look slimmer. So they make like they'll have the lighting shots. Like, say for example, if you look at Adam's face right now in this cam, they will like if Adam was Steven Seagal. All of Adam's rights. No, I'm saying if you were Steven Seagal.
You're Steven Seagal's what you're trying to say.
Right. If Adam was Steven Seagal, right, all of his right side of his face right now from this camera would be like blacked out. So it would make him look as if like there's less of him there. He's slimmer. It's very and they play with aspect ratios as well. So they'll finish picturing. It's super
CGI him and like this.
It's super the one I'm talking about just like
It really feels like this side of the screen.
I want to do that to you in the podcast, but stretch you out. So
I just the podcast.
big problem.
I'm feeling the CGI.
So the reason why I say Sniper Special Ops, usually there's something Steven Seagal hand-to-hand fight scene,
Yeah.
which is really bad.
Oh, doesn't it? He's like sitting down, they all run at him, he's just like tossing them.
Yeah, so that's usually what's funny about the movies. And this, the Sniper Specials, he literally does none of that. He just sits down and then fires his gun for one scene and then sits down again.
He's like sleeping, he's like...
But the thing is, and I hate this about the movies as well, he's always portrayed as, he's just like badass Navy SEAL in this movie.
Yeah.
All these guys are like 50-year-old badass and he was just like, I'm sorry, but if you're sending in these guys like obese Steven Seagal...
Isn't there like an old guy that works with him? Like, he's like an old like army guy and he's like, ugh.
Yeah.
He's like, they hired like an old man to be in the army. It's like, it's
Yeah,
not
there's that movie, and then there's one China Salesman.
Oh yeah.
Alan might have seen that China Salesman.
I've seen clips from that. I think I've
It's
seen
the
that
one with
clips
Mike
from all of
Tyson
them.
as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen clips
So it's basically a China propaganda. It's a China propaganda movie.
Of course it is.
That is literally Steven Seagal. It's the only fight scene you'll ever see where Steven Seagal gets beat. Only movie you'll ever see that. And for that, it actually has a rate that bumps up a bit higher, even though the movie is worse.
Wait, is that him fighting Mike Tyson or something?
It's
Or-
him fighting Mike Tyson.
It's like a famous like Mike Tyson movie scene. I think I've seen that.
Yes, it's
separate
in a
from the
bar
film.
and they're fighting, and he's fighting like they're like
It's
fighting.
in a bar.
That's in a bar, yeah. Well, it's in like a bar restaurant.
But like
thing.
Mike Tyson's just like chopping people in half and shit.
No, it's not
No,
that
no.
one. It's not that. But like, but then, and this one, like, the scene ends with like they're having a fight, and abruptly like just like I think Seagal gets his head hit off the table, and then like Mike Tyson just hits him with a right hook and just knocks him cold out. And you're sitting there.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Sensei wouldn't allow that. Sensei Seagal.
Sensei says no.
He's like, God.
I know I'm going to go with that. I feel bad dogpiling on per Steven here, but
Big Steve.
especially since the movie I'm picking for like my for action movie is his highest rated movie, Under Siege. I just watched it recently with Warren. It's brilliant.
It's one of the ones I haven't seen in ages.
There's so many shots in it that I'm like, they've just went with the first take. There's no way.
Like, what's that one about?
So he's like a chef on a US military boat, and
that's him being modest.
the whole twist is
Oh,
like he's a chef, but he's actually an ex-marine or like Navy SEAL or something like that. There we go. The lights are starting their business again.
It's the usual part of it.
Where's the batteries for him?
Charging there.
Oh, okay. Let's go
I
down.
done that the way you said. Drain them all out, charge them properly. So the fact that they're doing this is clearly something else.
It happens, you know. Batteries do like to die over time.
And damn, lithium batteries.
Yeah.
Damn you, lithium.
You get your knees and scream.
It reminds me of remember South Park.
Yeah.
Was it Mr. Also, he's the one. He's like the one with like the glasses, like the round glasses. He's like okay.
I don't know.
He's like damn you, Craig.
Oh, the teacher.
Yes.
Is it the teacher?
Is it Mr. Morrison?
Mr.
Mr. Mackey. It's Mr. Mackey. It's like damn you, Craig.
No, it's not. It is Mr. Larson. Is it?
No, Garson's the gay one.
Larson Garson.
And then Mr. Mackey's the one who's like okay,
Okay.
guys.
Oh, I thought the gay one did sound like that.
No. They kind of both do. But Mr. Mackey's he's the one who was like damn you, Craig.
But
I don't for sure.
what was I saying? So he's a chef in this military ship, but he's an ex-Navy SEAL or something.
Of course he
Of
is.
course, because he's Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal can do anything.
He literally he's Steven Seagal. But,
We can make a whole podcast dedicated to
we
the man.
probably
Like, zero film research put into this film. It's like, how does
I'm
an
thinking
army person operate?
we start a series for Patreon where we actually watch and react to movies, and we just start with all of Steven Seagal's.
Yeah.
Just like, why not?
Yeah,
At least we
yeah.
won't get done for copyright then, but like, so yeah, he's a Navy SEAL on this ship, and like it's invaded from the inside out. The main bad guy is I can't remember the actor's name, but you know Men in Black.
Yes.
Oh, the older guy.
Yeah, he's like the older guy, not Will Smith, but he's like the main bad guy. And oh my god!
I'm gonna search up his name.
And like, there's one girl on the entire ship. She's been hired to be like a stripper for like this marine, like the captain of the ship's birthday party, and the captain gets killed because these bandits overthrow the ship, and Steven Seagal's locked in the fridge. He's locked in the fridge, and there's one soldier sent to guard him, and the whole time Steven Seagal's in there, "Hey kid, let me out. They're coming for us." And the kid's like, "I've been told to stand here and guard this door." And then they show up and kill the kid. And just like open the door, and Steven Seagal fights them off, because of course he does. He fights them off with like kitchen knives and like all this type of shit. But then what happens is like this massive. They're basically planning to, on that ship they have nuclear missiles. They're planning to take those missiles and have them put on another submarine that they stole, so they can launch nukes and cause the end of the world.
Well, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
But Steven Seagal says no, kills all the bad guys, gets with the stripper girl.
Okay.
And it all comes to a head at the end of the movie, where Steven Seagal and the guy from Men in Black have this awful fist fight, where it's like the Aikido type of is going like this.
Yeah.
And it's all quick cuts, yeah.
Quick cuts,
Yeah.
and then they bring knives into the equation, and they're sitting doing all this stuff, and like up, your guy from Men in Black goes to like stab Steven. The knife's coming at him. What does Steven do? He literally
there's not his
bites the knife, pulls it out of his hand, gouges the guy's eye out, and then just goes like that into his head, and the guy's just like, ugh.
Tommy Lee Jones, he is. Yeah,
Tommy Lee Jones. That's what they would have done.
Does he still have the knife in his hand? He's at the Grammy or the
Men in Black
Oscars.
3 had a big cut right here.
Yeah, so I'm
He does all his own stunts. Really
He's got
brain
brain
damage.
damage. It's like,
Thank you for the Oscar for the new Steven Seagal film.
Brendan Fraser.
There was Steven Seagal said this is the idea of this genius. I don't know if you're off course about his genius. A Dangerous Man is an actual movie title that he gave him. That is the most like university action movie from Colombian me I've ever heard.
What's the film gonna say?
What's the one I remember he has? I don't know if it's Absolution, but there's one movie where it's like
Absolution.
whereas I need to figure out the name again when we actually watch all the movies. But like I mean like he plays like it's so he's just like American ex-Navy SEAL. He like moves out to China, right? Or like Hong Kong or somewhere around that. I don't know where he's actually at. But so basically he becomes like a god to these people. He is a chiropractor, a butterfly whisperer, a martial artist, a master chessman, a healer. He can basically do anything. He's basically God to these people,
right?
And they all come to him. But that's not even the movie I'm going to like say is the worst thing I've ever seen. I think it was A Good Man. It might be where at the end, this is how much he like. I'm going to say at the end of this, like, he sucks his own dick, right?
Oh,
so and no, not in the movie. No, that's how much he does metaphorically.
Right.
At the end of the movie. They're having the main mafia criminals are having it's like end after finally the mafia boss the son's dead, right? And they're having a game of chess. And Steven has a checkmate, and the mafia boss goes, only a tactical genius could come up with a play like that. And then there it comes up, directed by Steven Seagal, written by Steven Seagal. Instead of watching, like, what is this garbage? So yeah, that's why Steven Seagal, like, in my opinion, no matter what movie you list for the action section, because it might only be we might only get to do like 3 actual genres in this one.
Probably, yeah.
But what I'm going to say is, he hands down has some of the worst movies in action. Like, there's some really bad. I think Pacific Rim is god awful. If you've ever seen it.
Yeah, that's the one where they build the big.
Yes, Gypsy Danger.
You used to watch like action movie. I'm trying to think of one because I don't really.
I was going to say Transformers first thing. I actually like Transformers.
G.I. Joe,
they're
Rise
cool.
of the Cobra.
It's god awful. The second one of it as well is really bad.
I thought Rise of the Cobra was the second one.
The Resi Cobra is the first one. The second one's like
someone greenlit a sequel.
It's got The Rock in it. I forget the name of it as well.
I just remember every time I think of that movie, I'm just thinking the bit at the end where Channing Tatum's on like a submarine.
Yes.
And he's chasing after the girl, and she's like, "Yeah, you in what army?" He's like, "My army." And then it just pans out to all these submarines.
It's like that scene.
The cameraman was there.
It's like that scene in the The Rise of Skywalker, where it's like oh, we're losing this battle. Oh, not I'm here. It's like all these shit stuff.
It's like, go without me, I'm going.
All Marvel fans are getting goosebumps. It's like,
We're fucking, oh yeah, Captain America is just like, oh, I'm gonna die, and it's just like, on your left. Comes through. It's like, oh,
Oh
I hate me.
man, I don't have one action movie I can think of. Like,
find a Marvel movie. They're very easy.
The Marvel movie, it was technically action, so you could probably make something.
I'm man at a loss.
Like I'm like,
I don't know. And to be fair,
Maniac.
I really don't watch like action movies.
That's
the
fair.
thing, I can't think. Because Transformers, I think that's cool.
It's actually a good movie.
Like when they actually
If you look at-
transition and stuff, I think that's
Yes,
so
if you actually look at the technical side of Transformers, it's really good. It's just some of the acting is dog shit.
Well, some of the
Is
later
it-
ones, I would even argue, like, the technical stuff doesn't save it. Like, ones like, pretty much.
The fourth one onwards, I think, like
Yeah.
once they introduced Mark Wahlberg, it was.
I think action.
I'm sorry, Marky Mark, but
Destroys everything he touches.
That's it.
Look at M. Night Shyamalan hired him for one film and his whole
Oh shit! Yeah, I was trying to think of a Mark Wahlberg film as like my action pick. I couldn't think of any names for a movie.
Is he in any action movies? Apart from
He's-
Transformers.
Uncharted.
He's in Superfast.
No, that's
They're very bad film.
movies list.
Oh no,
Yeah,
Fast and Furious is an action movie.
That's an action series.
I
That's good,
I was
though.
trying to think of Fast and Furious
It's
films. I
good.
think they're all alright.
It's
The
good.
second one was a bit weird.
Yeah, like they're like see because for me it's like there's a balance between it being enjoyable to watch but kind of it's like mid. It's like mid movie. Bad but it's enjoyable. Like a lot of the sci-fi movies I would watch that are really bad. They're funny to watch, they're not bad. Like
Yeah.
Sharknado for example, it is just pure.
They're
It's funny.
unintentionally funny.
It's funnily bad. Some movies that Steven Seagal's in, like Sniper Special, you're just watching an obese man sitting on a chair going like, son, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to fix that broken arm. And it's like, you're watching it like, what am I actually
But
watching?
then there's actually movies that try to be funny, like
Sharknado 5.
Avengers and stuff.
Sharknado 5.
Yeah, like the jokes and stuff they say is like little comedy breaks.
Have you ever heard of
It's just like
Sharknado
cringy.
5's plotline? Where they have to go back in time to the first Sharknado to stop all the future Sharknadoes.
Sounds
That's intense.
epic.
I was thinking about, you ever just lie in your bed at night just thinking about random things? I remember, I was just lying thinking in my bed like a couple of nights ago. I don't know why it popped into my head. I think it was because last week's podcast, remember it was a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Fast X, like the
yeah.
10th one that's coming. But I was just remembering, you know the scene in the first Fast and Furious, because it's relatively serious, of like what do you call you get at the beanie and it's like the big like slow down emotional scene with the drive-by shooting and he gets like killed.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking. I forgot
You
the
know
kid's
the
name, but I know
I was
what
thinking
you're
about that scene, and then my brain just cut to like my ass is in Franco flying up to space in a car, and I was just like,
Oh yeah.
how did Fast and Furious do that? How did they go from like a serious
or
like
yeah, like,
drama?
even in the
like,
third,
cars?
even in the third one, there's
Yeah.
a car chase scene through Tokyo where Han flips over in his car. It's called, and it's related. No, not related, but it's went back to 5 movies later, where apparently those movies were all set before this movie, where it shows Jason Statham set up that car crash, and you're just
Yeah.
like, you are actually making up as it goes along, but it's that crazy that you can believe it.
Wait, what do you mean like they're set before them? What?
So Tokyo Drift is basically set before.
Oh, because they have
It's set
flashbacks.
before
in the
8. It's
film,
set
don't
before 8.
Well, yeah, because it's the third one.
No, but 7, 6. No, see, where no one was it? No, 5 and 6 are set before Tokyo Drift.
Right.
Because there was flashbacks in the film.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
Tokyo Drift wasn't there.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So it's like.
And what
So
happens?
it's like Tokyo Drift technically happens is like the chronology order is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 7, 8, 9.
It's like Star Wars.
That is complicated for a car racing movie.
But then again, all you do is watch.
It's because everyone loved Han in the third one. I didn't really expect them to. Like, they didn't expect the movie to like have like characters that were that loved.
Yeah.
Because like in that movie, one of the interesting things about it was they actually had to bring in Vin Diesel for an end credit scene because they were worried that no one was going to see that want to watch the movie if they didn't even have Vin Diesel's character
Amazing.
in the movie.
Yeah.
But they used him probably in the trailer.
Oh, right.
I think that's a smart thing though. It creates like a realm of depth if they're planning stuff in the early films of a series to correlate to the recent film that's been released.
Yeah, but like
So stuff that goes back, just more cars.
I'm just gonna be honest.
If it does,
they just pull out of their ass.
it's one of those things.
It's like one of those
like
like
intentionally.
it's not as bad, but it reminded me of the Palpatine's Return.
It tries,
but it was better set up than that because it's like it's like, oh, did he die? Did he not?
I mean, it depends. There's some movies that when
yeah.
you're writing like the sequels, you can look back and be like, hey, look, if I write this a certain way, that thing in that movie could technically relate to this. So it's like
could make sense.
So it makes sense, but it's like
you could write it so like in such a crazy way that the audience might feel like they did miss something when it's just made up.
Yeah. But that's like why Fast and Furious can never go in like a really bad category of movies because they're always enjoyable. They're always they went from humble to stupidity, but in a way that for me is so preposterous that it's so good.
Yeah, what was the big one? It was 7, wasn't it?
No, 5 was the one. So 5 was the last one where it was like it went really stupid.
Like, see you again. Like,
no, that was 7.
Yeah, 7.
But
5 was the last one that went really stupid.
No. 5 was the one like that was like half normal, half stupid because they introduced Dwayne The Rock Johnson. They were pulling a bank.
Oh, it was in Brazil. And
they're
the big like vaults.
Yeah, they were driving a vault through the city and like knocking over cars. Sure, you watched it. The start of the movie, they raid a train and then Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, rest in peace.
It's all
drop off a cliff.
I recently watched it. Here's the ones I haven't seen. I still haven't seen Too Fast, Too Furious.
It's god awful. It's like a gay bromance.
That's the one that had all the replays or something. It was always on TV. I remember that and Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, Tokyo Drift was always on TV.
Yeah, it was like
always on TV.
With no sales.
That's the other one. I've never seen Tokyo Drift. I've never seen the 4th one.
So
have I seen the 6th one?
So you haven't seen the 6th one. Oh, have you seen the one with the tank in it on the bridge?
I don't think so.
You need to see that last one where Dom dives over a tank, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe I have seen the 6th. I haven't seen the 7th one.
7 you haven't seen. You've seen 5 and 9.
No, I've seen
1, 5 and 9.
What
weird order.
No, 1, 5, 8 and 9. 8 was the first one I ever seen.
Is that the submarine one?
That's the one where I was like, you took your foot off the tigers now.
Yeah.
That was the first one I ever seen. It was the 8th one.
So he's seen 1, 5, 8 and 9. So he has seen none of the company.
I've watched more than me. I've watched more than you in that case.
You've seen probably more than I.
I seen the 7th one, you know, when at the end when they drive away from each other, see you again. All
I've
that.
seen that scene, but I've never actually seen the one.
Seen it in cinema though.
Actually,
I seen it in like the Belfast Odyssey one. I have really good memories. I was with my cousin William, went up and seen it. It's like really, and that's like one of the only movie that really sticks with me.
Fast and Furious 7.
Yeah, like cause like just saying it in that environment, and then like every time I go to that cinema, I'm like always thinking about that film.
Yeah.
That was like almost 10 years ago, wasn't it?
2000. What would it be?
That's like one of the most I'm not even saying this in a really. That's one of the most like nice emotional things I've ever heard Michael talk about a movie. I was about to say a memory of a movie. Usually Michael just goes, "Oh, Meet the Blacks." What?
Meet the Blacks. Oh, that's awesome.
That's a great film. Good film.
I would love to rewatch that film in that cinema, just like to relive that feeling.
Meet the Blacks.
No, I don't think that's in cinema. Or if it ever was, I don't know. But
Bad.
yeah, but just rewatching Fast Furious 7 in cinema, in that cinema, it's like would be cool.
Yeah, that's like for me. Fast Furious can never go in a bad car. Transformers can't go in a bad car. I'm trying to be other balance.
Indiana Jones.
Transformers definitely can't.
Transformers like Age of Extinction now.
Indiana Jones.
Crystal Skull.
Yeah, let's just go Star Wars because Star Wars is his own thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's sci-fi.
Indiana Jones is like probably Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade is probably my favourite action movie of all time.
Like Best Adventure series.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's really like on par with that.
Adventures, yeah, I would say it's my favourite action series. Favourite adventure series. Action, I don't know, John Wick.
Yeah.
No, good man.
A good man.
Better action, better hand-to-hand.
Oh, John. No, but to be fair, John Wick actually, just to go back to that was like really good for action.
It was, yeah.
That's like the only action movies I'd go to cinema to watch.
We've seen the third one in cinema, so we can
I watched that like 4 times in cinema.
I really want to see a Hitman movie made like John Wick.
I don't understand why that hasn't been done.
Because a Hitman, like the movies are like mad.
Did the movie come before the game? I don't know how.
Oh, the game came out. It came before. And like, but the concept of this like bald man, barcode on the back of his head, higher drum, you just do so much with that. But drum is probably the same thing to Keanu Reeves. But,
I think better games come off movies that came first. Simpsons movie or a game came after the series and movie. You know, anything that was like a game first into a movie is like not notable.
Okay, guys, comment down below, is Michael wrong? And put down what you think is better is actually from the game after.
Both of
Yeah.
Both of them have like a bad reputation. Like people always say, you know, movies based on games are shit, but then people also say games based on movies are shit. But I can think of more examples where a game based on movies been really good than the other way around. I think.
Like what do you call it, the Lara Croft one?
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. I used to have the game of that on
The movie's
Wii
pretty
or DS or something. I never got past the first mission. Then I seen like it. I was in Dublin once as a kid, and I seen the movie on like the TV, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
So you know, both bad.
One movie I think actually, I was mentioning earlier, it was about Mark Wahlberg, but kind of similar thing. I actually think Uncharted movies going too much hate.
What's the movie?
Like people said, oh, this movie's so mad, it's so bad.
The Tom Holland, isn't it?
Yeah. I was like, you know, the movie for what it is, enjoyable action sequences. Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg are kind of fun too. Like them playing their characters makes no sense, but you still just take the enjoyment out of it. And then there's one scene where they fly a cargo bob. Like I'm speaking from GTA terms.
Cargo bob.
But they're using it to basically like move the old ship. And that movie was like, those movies are, like tells me, those scenes to me still make it enjoyable to watch because I can actually like, you can kind of suspend your belief that this is awesome to see. But at the same time you're also like, man, this is maybe Uncharted.
I think it's because there's an overuse of CGI in the action scenes. Like whenever you see all the families like coming out the back of the plane, which was a big moment in the Uncharted game, whenever it's because CGI, like in the movie, like,
oh no, when you see him jump up and you can see physically he's not getting there.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of on the contrary though, if we're talking about like, we'll probably like wrap this up here because we're talking about good movies now, we're not talking about ones. But like, if we're talking about action movies that were really good, I'd probably say, especially the last one that came out, Fallout, but the Mission Impossible movies have to go in that category for me because Tom Cruise, you know,
I love how we're going into good movies.
He's a bit of a strange dom, but all it is.
Top Gun Maverick. He started on that
Top
movie.
Gun, the Mission Impossible in Dubai was really cool, I remember.
Yeah, the one where he's on the windows.
He actually done
Yeah,
that.
I see behind the scenes of that, and I was like,
that's the thing, whenever you watch like a Mission Impossible movie, the reason that they're so good is something, you know, the stories aren't awful, but it's more like whenever you see the crazy action, he's doing that, so you know it's like, oh god, something.
He almost converted me to Scientology with it, to be honest.
You almost convert me to
like
Scientology.
Top Gun Maverick almost had me converted.
if someone's that good at something, it just converts you to their ideologies.
We should, like, we're gonna end this here, but we should actually do an episode on like, we should do episodes on like film genres.
Film genres.
Talking
Yeah,
about
like
what's in that genre.
Okay, that's one.
We're doing
This one
too, but-
because we actually didn't get to watch the movies we intended to watch this week. This one's just a better thing, but you know we got like this. We're probably gonna come back to this sort of topics again.
Yeah.
And also, if we do anything on Patreon, link below. We'll probably get into that doing movie reactions. We may bring some to the channel in future as little like teaser things, but I can't guarantee that because we do want it to be one of our Patreon-based series. Yeah. And next podcast, we should be watching Cocaine Bear. If we don't do that, we will. If we can't get that, we will watch something else instead. You actually review a movie.
You can't lose Denzel Washington in your film.
Very true.
You know.
I think we'll end it here on the 13th episode of Post Production Podcast. See you guys next week.
Let's get it.
Oh.
Zeus. Penetrate this thing. Try it. Oh man, the make.
That was dreadful.